Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to the Quest for Success Hypnotic Realities webinar. I'm Dawson. I'm the lead trainer and owner here at Quest for Success, and if I haven't met you already, I hope to do so in the future. So we've got quite a few people on the call tonight, so thank you so much for joining me in your evening. And we've also got, a lot of participants joining us from Athens. So guys, Kalisperas. So you've joined us, I guess, because you're curious, and it's a good thing to be curious. And I've scheduled this webinar because I really wanted to talk to you about hypnosis. I wanted to talk to you about hypnosis because it's coming on in a bit of a groundswell at the moment. It's undergoing a bit of a renaissance. And I'm on a personal mission. And my personal mission is to take away all the popular myths, legends, and misconceptions that surround hypnosis and hypnotic technique. And I want to do this because we're missing out on so much of a wonderful, powerful catalyst for change. And we're particularly missing out on some real tricks in the business environment. And this is what people tend to overlook when it comes to hypnosis and hypnotic technique, that it can actually be used in an organizational business setting to really great effect. So I want to tell you a bit about hypnosis and where it is, where it's been, and perhaps dispel some of the myths. Put it this way, think about what you know about hypnosis right now. Now, take away what you've got from watching stage shows and what you've got from watching hypnotherapists, hypnotic entertainers on the TV. What's left? It's a great question. And the answer is everything else. So I want you to take you on a little journey just to find out, in just this brief time we have together, a little bit about what hypnosis really is. So let's discover the truth. So here are some popular misconceptions about hypnosis. So I want to start by really smashing these. And so you understand exactly what hypnosis is. And think of it in this really simple way. All hypnosis is an altered state of consciousness. And at its absolute deepest, it's pure relaxation, nothing else. So I guess some of you might find that a bit surprising, that it's purely a different state of awareness. It's deep relaxation. So in the past, people have said, oh, you've got to be very weak-minded and gullible to be able to be hypnotized and go into trance. And actually, the complete opposite is true. The most intelligent people make great hypnotic subjects. And this is because they know how to think creatively. They know how to use their imagination. They know how to follow instructions. And so the most intelligent people make really great subjects. This is why hypnosis works so well in business settings. Because you've got some very intelligent people all working together. And in that way, in the business community, we can use hypnotic language and hypnotic technique to get some really great results. Of course, when people have watched stage shows and seen people do things that are pretty unusual, they think they're going to lose their personal power, be humiliated or lose control if they're in a trance state. And actually, the complete polar opposite is true. When you're in an altered state of awareness, you are very aware and you're able to select information according to your own values, beliefs, and moral compass. There is nothing anyone can do to change that. So consider it. When you're in your normal waking state, your normal consciousness, all of your senses are activated. all this information is bombarding you all of the time, and it fogs your consciousness. Now, when you're in an altered state, when you're in a light trance state, only your senses are activated. You can hear more, you can feel more, you can sense more. And so you're very, very aware when you're in a trance state. You're in total control. And the control comes from the truth that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. Consider that for a moment. How many times have you heard somebody say, "Oh, I can't be hypnotized. Nobody can hypnotize me"? That's right. Absolutely. Because the only person who can put you into a trance state is you. Your hypnotherapist, practitioner, or coach is purely giving you instruction. They're guiding you. They're going to be your navigator. So all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. Trance, the trance state, is just purely a different state of consciousness, different from how you are now. So trance is normal. It's a normal state of relaxation. It doesn't feel different substantially from your waking state. You're very aware, you hear everything, you feel everything, and you feel really, really relaxed. You have light trance all the time. Have you ever had a daydream? Of course. When you daydream, you're in a different altered state. It's a trance state. Have you ever been so engrossed in a book or a film that maybe somebody else has been speaking to you and you just don't hear them? That's a trance state. Or maybe sometimes when you're driving and maybe the radio's on and you're driving along and all of a sudden, oh, there's my junction, I missed it. You're in a trance state. So it's something you experience all of the time. And so it doesn't always feel substantially different when you undergo hypnosis or you undergo some sort of altered state. So trance isn't about sleep. It's not about being zoned out and unaware and unconscious. It's a state of deep relaxation. And it's a state that you can come out of any time because you're in control. So that any time somebody suggests to you something that goes against your moral code, against your values and beliefs, and you don't want to accept that suggestion, you simply won't accept it. And you can come out of trance. During the World Wars, particularly on the American side of the Atlantic, there was a lot of rumour, a lot of conspiracy theory about hypnosis used for brainwashing in the secret services. Now, a lot of this information is now in the public domain. It's all come out into the open. And it was very clear that brainwashing is actually a very specific process and actually nothing to do with hypnosis. So hypnosis is not brainwashing. So I hope if you had any of those misconceptions held within your own consciousness, and I'm sure you did, that you feel a little bit more comfortable about what hypnosis and hypnotic technique is actually about. Now, hypnosis is nothing new. It's been with us for a long, long, long time. As long as man has been here, really. Even as early as 1000 BC, the Egyptians had sleep temples. And the same was occurring in ancient Greece, ancient Rome. And throughout the centuries, hypnosis has grown and developed. And if you look at all of these landmarks on this slide, you'll see a number of names. And some of them you might recognise. For example, mesmer. This is where we get the term to be mesmerised, mesmerism, and animal magnetism. And it was a Scotsman working in Manchester who actually coined the phrase hypnosis from the Greek. If you look at all these people, the majority of them were all medical doctors. And this is what people miss about hypnosis. The fact that as it's developed over the centuries, it has gone through an enormous process of academic rigor. It's not something that is new age or airy-fairy or fantastical or magical or something very soft. Hypnosis is a science, and it's been through the academic portals over and over again. It's been through clinical trials over and over again. And this is one of the reasons why it's still with us today, because it's a science. Back in the 1950s, the American Medical Association approved hypnosis for clinical use within their medical system. We're not quite there yet in the UK, and probably not in Greece either. But we keep pushing forward with the science of hypnosis. And I think once you can embrace this technology as a science, then all sorts of different applications become available to you. So think about that, hypnosis as a science. So let's think about the hypnotic state. What is it? What's happening? Well, within the holistic entity of the thing that we call our mind, we have a conscious mind, which is the conscious mind you use right now to be listening and watching the webinar. And you'd be conscious of, what am I going to have for dinner? Or am I going to go out with friends tonight? And you're doing your self-talk and your logical thinking in your conscious mind. But there's also another area of the entity that we call the mind. And this we call the unconscious mind. And there's nothing majestic or magical about the unconscious mind. It's simply that part of your mind that you're not consciously aware of right now. So it's that part of your mind that's storing your memories. It's consolidating all the learning you've done today. It's organizing your experiences that you've had today. It's running your body. It's having you breathe. It's having you digest. It's blinking your eyes when you need to. All of these things that you don't do consciously. So your unconscious mind is a very, very important and powerful part of your entire consciousness. Because your unconscious mind is the domain of your emotions, it's where your habits are formed, it's what gives you your behaviours. That's why we do things unconsciously. We just do things, we just feel things. It's simply because it's coming from our unconscious mind, where all our neurological processing goes on. This is why we have a psychology of response, because it's all happening at the unconscious level. And so in order to initiate real change in thinking, real change in behaviour, we need to get through to the unconscious mind and communicate at that level. And this is what the altered state or the hypnotic state does for us. Right now, when you're in the waking state, your conscious mind and your unconscious mind are separated. And they're separated by something we call the critical faculty. It's a barrier, if you like, between the conscious and the unconscious mind. And so when we accept a trance state, an altered state through suggestion, then that critical faculty dissolves. We get conscious and unconscious integration, which means that we can communicate with our own unconscious minds. And that's a great, great thing to do, because it means that then you can get in control of your emotional state, you can get in control of your habits, you can get in control of your behavior, you can get in control of all of your thinking. So being able to access a trance state, a hypnotic state, and dissolve that critical faculty is a really, really useful thing to be able to initiate. It's a willful suspension of disbelief. And of course, it's pretend. Your unconscious mind is your creative mind. Your critical faculty is the part of you that cares to distinguish between reality and fantasy. So I'd just like to share with you, whilst we're here together, a little technique called the learning state. And this is a very, very simple technique that will allow you to break down your critical faculty. So allow you to open up a trapdoor, if you like, through to your unconscious mind, so you can be able to communicate with your own unconscious mind. So you can notice your thinking, you can control your thinking, understand your thinking, and begin to think on purpose. So the learning state is the difference between foveal awareness and peripheral awareness. So it's not so much about your biological vision, how far your peripheral vision goes. It's more to do with how aware you are of what's in your periphery, what's out here. By doing this, by doing the learning state, it allows you to break down that critical faculty. And it puts you in a lovely, neutral, focused state. Now imagine being able to do that whenever you need to. Here we begin to look into business applications. Imagine you're giving a presentation to an important group of people, or maybe just to one very important person. Or maybe you have to meet a client for the first time. Maybe there's something there in your business life that needs you to be focused and neutral and in control of your state. This is something you can do very quick and easy to enable you to achieve all of those things. So let me talk you through it, because this is very self-coaching. Once you know how to do it, you can go ahead and practice as much as you like on your own. So let's play. I'd like you to raise your eyes so they're above your eye level. And I want you to pick a spot on the wall in front of you, wherever you are. If you're on the bus or on the train or wherever you're listening, just raise your eyes as if you're looking at that space between your eyebrows. And pick a spot and look at it intently. And I want you to look at that spot so intently that that spot is all there is in your awareness. So it's like having blinkers on. It's like having tunnel vision. You're just aware of one spot that you've selected. Now, as you hone your vision in on that one spot, I now want you to start to increase your awareness and keep your eyes trained on the spot. So your eyes don't move. It's just your awareness that increases. And start to push your awareness out to either side of that spot that you've selected. Just a little. And remember, what you see in your peripheral awareness won't be in sharp detail. It might be a little bit fuzzy. It's awareness. And now push it out a little bit further, keeping your eyes on the spot that you've chosen. And then push it out further. So your awareness is now moving out to the sides. And push it out even further. So your awareness is expanding to either side of you. Push it out so it's 180 degrees. Everything to the side of you becomes in your awareness and your eyes stay trained on the spot. And maybe you can push it a little bit behind yourself as well. Try that. Just become aware of everything and notice what that does to your internal state. Calm, neutral, relaxed, focused. And as you feel that now, you can go ahead and just lower your eyes and look around normally and keep your awareness pushed out to the sides. And for as long as you keep that awareness pushed out to either side, you'll retain that calm, relaxed, focused, neutral state. So something for you to practice. Now, as I said, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. It's something that you choose for yourself. So if I were to say, close your eyes, relax the muscles around your eyes, so they're so relaxed you can't relax them anymore, holding on to that relaxation. Test them and make sure you can't open them. Now there's only you that can do that. I can't do it for you. You choose to do the instructions or you don't. So all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. And the science behind hypnosis. Let's have a look very briefly at what happens to the frequency of your brainwaves as you go into different states of trance. So from our wide awake ether brainwaves, and to my Greek participants, I apologise for the pronunciation. I know it shouldn't be said like that, but that's how we say it in England. And as we go forward into like a lethargic state, kind of tired, that's the alpha state. And you notice the brain waves have altered. And then as we go into a very light to medium trance, we get our theta brainwaves. And again, our brain wave frequency is changing. And then as we move into a deep state of trance, which is nearing sleep, then that's when we get our delta brainwaves, and that's when we start to dribble. Nice, huh? So there is science behind how our brainwaves are affected as we go into a trance state. So let's have a very brief look at some of the applications of hypnosis. Hypnosis is going through a revolution at the moment. It's a really good time to be right at the forefront of hypnosis and the profession of hypnosis, because there's a bit of a groundswell happening and people are getting interested in hypnosis and what it can do for them. And there are a wide variety of modern day contemporary applications. So of course, we all know hypnotherapy. We all know hypnosis as a profession and a tool for nice, powerful, and yet comfortable and easy change. So we have the classic hypnotherapy applications that you're probably very aware of: smoking cessation, weight loss, confidence. All of these sorts of things can be achieved through hypnotherapy. Now, the difference between classical hypnotherapy and where we are with it now is that it's so much faster. And it's faster because we've taken the science of language and we've taken that language and really honed it so it's extremely powerful. So we can initiate change in other people very, very rapidly, as long as it's what they want and they choose to accept it. So the profession of hypnotherapy is growing and it's going into all sorts of different areas. So consider that. Hypnosis is also being used in coaching. It's being added and blended into coaching approaches as a tool for change. So maybe if you're already a coach, you might want to consider blending a little bit of hypnosis into your coaching. Obviously, you have to be very upfront with your clients and tell them that you have this new tool that you can incorporate into coaching practice. It's been used really, really, really successfully in a coaching environment. We can also use hypnosis and hypnotic technique in education. Consider the little technique that you've just used. Imagine teaching that to children. Children who can't sit still. Children who don't want to listen. The shuffle bottoms in the class. Imagine if you taught them a very easy technique that would make it easy for them to learn and easy for them to apply themselves to the learning process, to sit and listen and be still. Also, using hypnotic language in education can make the learning process so much easier and mega fast, super fast, a lot more quick than it is today. So there are lots of applications in education. And this is where I really want to push the concept home, that hypnosis and hypnotic technique can be used in business. Health and well-being programs are a real thing at the moment in lots of global organizations. Everybody's looking at health and well-being. Now, imagine hypnosis as part of a corporate health and well-being program. Imagine what that would do for the stress levels of people in the organization. If people had space and time to learn how to relax both mentally and physically at least once a day. Imagine people could get in control of their emotional states. Imagine everybody was focused, calm, relaxed and neutral during their working day. How much difference would that make to the working environment? And imagine what it could do for the sickness and absence bill at the end of the day. So if less people are going off with stress and mental health issues, then the pay bill for those people who have to be paid sickness pay, which significantly reduce. Hypnotic language is a very key and elegant way of communicating. It's used all the time outside of our awareness. So if you could use elegant language in your business all of the time, you're going to get significantly improved communication skills. Your presentation skills will just skyrocket. You will become a charismatic presenter, and your negotiating and influencing will just go off the chart because you know how to use your language elegantly, and this language comes from hypnosis. Sales and marketing. We're exposed to marketing campaigns that use hypnotic technique all of the time. So wouldn't it be great if you understood that and you can use it within your own sales and marketing? You can get your figures way up just by using different techniques. And all of these things are coming from the profession of hypnosis. So I guess you might be surprised to hear some of those things, because really only point one, hypnotherapy, is what people think of when they think of hypnosis. But its reach has really grown, and it can go into all different types of areas in the modern world. So before we finish, you might be thinking, so how do I learn this? How do I become a hypnotherapist, a coach, or even a trainer of hypnosis? Well, from Quest for Success Limited, we can offer you two ways of doing that. One is to take our NLP Coach Practitioner training, which incorporates NLP timeline therapy, NLP coach, and hypnosis certification. So all of those things. And our next one in the UK is from the 4th to the 11th of March and will be in Athens during May and June in 2 parts. We also run a professional hypnosis certification series. So this is pure hypnosis and hypnotic technique. And it's a wonderful program because in less than 12 months, you can go from absolutely no knowledge to being a certified trainer of hypnosis, all in less than a year. The program starts on the 26th of February, and it takes you through all the different levels, from Ericksonian practitioner to more advanced levels of hypnosis. Advanced 1 is Estabrooks, Advanced 2 is Ellman approaches, and these two together will get you your Master Coach certificate in hypnosis. We do a module on self-hypnosis and hypnosis trainers training, and by going through that you will be a certified trainer of hypnosis. And we also have the Krasner method, clinical hypnosis. So it's a wonderful package that gives you absolutely everything you need. and you can start a whole new business or incorporate it into your existing business. So before we finish, does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask? You can unmute yourself with the little microphone next to your name, or you can use the chat. Anybody want to ask a question? No, no questions? So keep in touch. Have a look on our website, qfscoaching.com. You can email me at Christine@QFScoaching. You can give me a call. Okay, Ellie has said, how long does it take to become an experienced hypnotherapist? So you can get qualified as a hypnotherapist during your practitioner program, or you can get qualified in our 12-month program. Experience is something that's unique to everybody, and look at it this way: you practice on your clients, you practice with your colleagues in your business. So experience just grows as you work through your profession. Come away from thinking, I've got to do a certain number of hours before I'm labelled as experienced. You are experienced because you've lived life. And in any of the things that I train, NLP, timeline therapy, hypnosis, NLP coaching, it's about your experiences in life and with people rather than experience with technique. So think about it that way. Ellie's been practicing with self-hypnosis and it works really well. Great. That's really great. I encourage everybody to do a bit of self-hypnosis and to get that real relaxation going on. So anybody else want to ask anything? No? Okay, so keep in touch. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. If you're not already on our newsletter list, just send me an email and I'll put you onto our newsletter so you'll get all the latest news. And we'll be running another webinar very, very soon. So I hope you'll join us. So we've run out of time for tonight. Thank you very, very much for joining us. You're welcome, Ellie. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us, and I hope you'll join us again soon. So for now, have a great evening, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.